Welcome to the Mama Truth Show, where soulful mamas embrace the whole truth of the messiness and magic of motherhood. Check us out at mamatruthshow.com. Here's your host, Amy Ahlers, the Wake Up Call Coach.
Happy Mama Truth Monday, mamas. It's Amy Ahlers, the Wake Up Call Coach here, and I'm here to talk about a topic that is near and dear to my heart. Oh yes, today on the Mama Truth Show, we are going to talk about worry, the worry of motherhood. Ah, dear Lord, right? I mean, praise me, baby Jesus. I don't know what else to say, but it's so interesting because there's that adage that's out there all the time that your job as a mother is to worry. And those of you who get the daily Mama Truths have probably seen this come across your inbox, which you can subscribe at dailymamatruth.com if you want to receive these little nuggets in your inbox every day. But one of the favorite ones that I created was, your job as a mom is not to worry. Your job is to love. I love that. It's so true. It's so important, right? Because we think that our job is to worry. We think that when we worry about our children, when we worry about the people in our lives, that we are loving them. We've somehow collapsed them together as if worry equals love and love equals worry, and that they just go hand in hand. That's just the way that it is. We accept it. That's it. And I am here to tell you that is absolutely not true. In fact, worry and love are on absolute opposite ends of the spectrum. In kind of the context of Inner Mean Girl Reform School, we would say that worry comes from your inner mean girl and that love comes from your inner wisdom. Or that worry comes from fear consciousness and love comes from God consciousness, love consciousness, the divine. And when we feel it, so just imagine for a moment, let's do this little quick exercise to bring the case in point here. I want you to bring up one of your children, or if you have, a niece or a nephew that you're taking care of, or a grandchild, what have you. Go ahead and just bring them into your mind. You can close your eyes if you're not driving or operating heavy machinery. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and then just bring into mind this child in your life. And I want you to just allow a little bit of worry, just low grade worry, to seep in for a moment and just feel the way that it feels in your body. So I'm thinking of my daughter Annabella, and I just suddenly am worried. She's actually heading out for a trip for the first time with some friends. She's going away for the weekend, and I had this come up last night where I was feeling worried about it, and I was feeling so anxious about it, and I can feel it in my chest. I feel like this tightness. I feel like my breath is getting shallower. I feel like, I'm worried. I feel literally contracted in my body. So just notice how that feels. Okay, we've had enough of that. I know we want to get away from that. Okay, now just go ahead and take a deep breath. Just breathe in, breathe out. And as you breathe out, just imagine that worry seeping out of your body. And I want you to bring that child into your consciousness. Go ahead and just make the screen go blank for a minute and then just re-bring them in. And I want you to shower them with love. So just imagine bringing that child in. And for me, sometimes it helps to imagine literally showering them in white diamond light or bright pink light. Just imagine that child, like them standing there. I'm imagining Annabella standing there almost like she's dancing in the rain. And the rain is this gorgeous pink rain of love. And there's so much joy. And I'm celebrating her and I'm celebrating life. And I literally can feel, those of you that are watching the video, like I can feel a little smile on my lips. I feel this expansion in my chest. I'm like putting my arms out wide. I feel this release in my body. I feel this warmth in my belly. Okay, that is love. You can open your eyes now if you had your eyes closed. Wow, what a difference, right? What a difference to feel the difference between worry, that contracted, tight, space, and love, that expanded, expansive place. That is where we want to be as often as possible as mamas. And so right here is tool number one that I want to talk to you about today and share with you today is that exact thing, that when those feelings of worry come up about my children, about my business, about my husband, about my mom and dad, whatever it is, that literally shifting my perspective, and it really helps, by the way, to get physical with this. Like, you can literally, when you're in that moment of worry, stand up and stretch your arms out, expand your chest, and just choose to love on them. Just choose to ramp up into absolute divine, beautiful love and feel that anxiety melt away, because we cannot actually, I think this is from the Course in Miracles, if I'm remembering correctly, but you cannot worry and love in the same breath, in the same moment, in the same moment. You cannot do both. They're actually contradictions. And so our jobs as moms, one of our many jobs, but one of them is to actually love as much as possible. That is our job. And when we are in that state of worry, we are robbing ourselves of feeling that love. So play with this tool. See how it goes for you. I always like to say that, before I had children, I actually was not a big worrier. I didn't really experience anxiety. Maybe I did every time I took, every once in a while when I took a test or something like that. But I wasn't like an anxious person in any way, shape, or form. I was a risk taker in life. Like, I loved to go and do risky things. Risked mostly emotionally, not so much with the physical stuff, but, like, I wasn't like jumping out of airplanes or anything crazy like that. But I was a risk taker in life. And then it was like I had Annabella, my firstborn, and I felt like I gave birth simultaneously to all of these little worrywart inner mean girls that just wanted me to, they could have taken over my life. Like, I genuinely remember I was lying next to Annabella, and she was like all, it was like when she was first born, and she was like a little baby burrito with, she was all swaddled is the word I'm looking for, right? She was all swaddled up next to me, or a sweet little chubby face. And I was just like, oh my God, like, I'm going to be worried for the rest of my life. Like, this is now how I'm going to be. I'm just going to be an anxious mom. I'm going to turn into a helicopter mom. I'm going to hover over her. Oh my God, I'm so worried. And I was like, no. I remember making a very definitive choice. Like, no, actually, no, I will not live my life this way. I will not live my life like that. I am not going to do that. No, I'm not doing it. And so really having to instill tools that would allow me to release the worry. So I remember one of the things that used to cause me a lot of anxiety as a mom is when I would be with Annabella, and she would be, when she was, like 5 years old, kindergarten or maybe preschool, and we would go to the playground, and she would always want to be on the highest, like, I'm not super fond of heights, and she would always want to be on the highest part of the jungle gym, right? And she would be like up there on the monkey bars going. And I remember very distinctly, I was at the park with her this one time, and she was doing these monkey bars that were super high off the ground. She was swinging from them, and I was like, oh my, she was like, look at me, mommy, look at me. And I looked at her, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. I'm so proud of you. I'm not going to look, though. I'm not going to watch, because like my heart was just like, I was like, oh my God, is she going to make it? Oh my God, is she going to make it? It was crazy. So I took a deep breath, and I said to her, do not let my nervousness and my fear disrupt your experience. This is mommy's thing, the heights thing. You get to go and play, and you have a great time. And I'm actually, the best way for me to take care of myself in this moment is to actually not watch you, but know that I am so proud of you. And I had this super sweet dad on the playground come up to me and say, oh my gosh, I just heard what you said to your daughter, and I love it. I'm stealing it. I'm using it. I am just like, I'm not going to place my fear on my daughter. I'm not going to place my worry and my anxiety on my child. And so being able to name, yes, I'm feeling that way. Here's how I'm going to take care of myself. And you go and have your experience, sweetheart. Because it's like this thing where then we can end up, sharing it with our children and passing it down to our children, our different fears about it. And, and even as I'm speaking this, I'm realizing some other areas where I'm like, oh gosh, I need to work on that one over with this area or that area that I'm still working on as a human being that I don't want to pass on to my daughters. So check that out. And do a little inventory for yourself of where are you passing down your fear, your worry, your anxiety to your children, and how can you take care of yourself name it, and let them know that they are off the hook, that they do not have to have that experience. So one more thing I want to share about worry, something that has been really cool that I've done that I love this. So one of the things we teach at Inner Mean Girl Reform School is about reforming your inner mean girls, your inner critics, and actually redeploying them for good in your life. And so for me, with my worrywart inner mean girl, I've actually redeployed her in my life to be my risk assessment manager. And this is the perfect job for her, right? Because she is masterful at calculating risk all the time. And what she used to do is she would come to me with the fear and then run the worst case scenario over and over and over and have this catastrophic thinking happen. And so what I've been able to use her energy and shift her energy in is I now have her assess the risk. And the thing that's so great about this is that when you really assess the risk, okay, like how likely is it that she's going to fall off the top of the jungle gym and die, right? And I will have my risk manager go out there and like get off my back, leave me alone so I can enjoy the park as much as possible with my daughter and go and assess the risk. And then she usually comes back and is like, actually the risk slim to none. Like I don't actually think many children have died crazily from falling off the monkey bars and this and that, right? And so then I can relax. So I give that to you, the risk assessment. Have your inner worrywart do risk assessment for you. And I always love like those statistics of like you're more, likely to be struck by lightning 3 times than be in a, plane crash or whatever it is, whatever the stat is. I'm totally butchering it, by the way, but you get my drift that when we actually assess the risk and go to the numbers and the stats, it can really help us just relax. Okay. I'd love to hear about worry and anxiety for you mamas and how these tools that I've given you are helping you. And so as we bring this particular Inner Mean Girl Reform School to a close, not Inner Mean Girl Reform School, but Mama Truth Show to a close, just talking about Inner Mean Girl Reform School, which you can check out, actually do a little free quiz if you want at freeinnermeangirlquiz.com. That's it, freeinnermeangirlquiz.com. Super fun inner mean girl archetype quiz where you can find out, like, do you have a worrywart? Is that a big inner mean girl for you? Or maybe you have the good girl archetype or the achievement junkie archetype. Who knows? But you can check that out at freeinnermeangirlquiz.com. But in the meantime, I'm so excited because next week I'm going to be back with you with the amazing Tina Green, who's going to talk with us about lotus wisdom for toxic relationships. Ooh, that's going to be so good. All right, darling, keep embracing the messiness and the magic of motherhood. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. If you like what you've heard, the biggest compliment you can give us is to share the Mama Truth Show with a friend and subscribe, rate, and review our podcast at iTunes. And make sure to visit mamatruthcircle.com to become part of our free community of soulful mamas. Until next time, keep embracing the messiness and the magic of motherhood.